Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Ferzoco Group TV. I'm Chris Ferzoco and along with Joe Ferzoco naturally. And folks, today we're going to compare numbers from 2020 with the previous year of 2019. And Joe, I'm actually going to start on some of the coastal areas that we cover, primarily looking at Ocean City and Sea Isle City. I'm going to move into some of the inland towns that we cover. And naturally, you'll be covering the Wildwoods and some of those lower areas that we cover there. Yep. So starting in Ocean City. So in 2019, we actually had a total number of properties of about 1,839 properties. 2020, Joe, we actually had a flat line on that. It was actually just a little over 1,832 properties listed for sale. So in comparison of 2019 and 2020, total listings virtually the exact same in Ocean City. Wow. Here's where the numbers get fun. In 2020, we actually had an increase of 17.5%, folks, of the total number of properties, the total value of properties that sold in Ocean City. So again, values in Ocean City rose 17.5% from 2019 into 2020. Number of properties that sold, Joe, rose 25% in Ocean City from 2019. That was a total of 1,232 properties sold in Ocean City. So again, you kind of look at the value was up about 17.5% in 2020, and the number of properties sold was up just about 25% as well. Okay. So pandemic year was actually quite positive there for Ocean City. Sure. Moving down the coast a little bit to Sea Isle City, the other major town that we cover here. Sea Isle City actually dropped about 5% in the number of properties listed for sale in 2020 versus 2019. So a little bit of a decrease there. Yeah. However, again, now you start talking about, well, how about values? Values in Sea Isle rose 9.5%, and it actually rose to a total of about $904,000 is the average sale price now in Sea Isle City. Yeah, so quite impressive numbers there. Now, as for the number of properties sold in Sea Isle, that's also up about 24.5%. So again, seeing values increase in Sea Isle, we're seeing the total number of properties selling in Sea Isle increasing. The only downside was the number of properties that actually came on the market and were available for sale. Gotcha. So we start getting those numbers up, we can actually increase the number of sales. So yeah, we'll actually have a lot more sales that way. Moving inland, Upper Township. This area here, we actually had a significant decrease in the number of properties that actually were sold. It was down 27%. Wow. So a major drop in the number of properties that sold there. As for values, actually values went up 11%. So, which kind of makes sense, folks. Look, number of listings that dropped 27%, values go up, simple supply and demand. Sure. Actually, and you look at the number of overall properties also went up 5%. So we did actually have a nice increase of properties selling there. Just again, another area where not enough properties available for sale. Sure. Moving down, or actually moving north a little bit into Atlantic County, going to cover Summers Point here, we actually had a decrease of 19.5% for the total number of properties that came on the market in 2020 versus 2019. Okay. Yep. Overall values, Joe, in Summers Point, up. Actually, that went up just about 17.5%. So the good news is their values are up. The number of properties that sold actually dropped about 4.5%. So again, in Summers Point, one of those dynamics, probably more of a supply issue there. Didn't have enough properties, but the good news is values actually went up.
Absolutely. Of course, we're going to touch down. We're going to go a little bit further south in Cape May County. We're going to do all four of the Wildwood boroughs. We'll do a little bit of offshore stuff, North Cape May and Cape May Courthouse as well. And we're going to see significant increases in prices down through the Wildwoods, as well as the number of properties sold and inventory levels really for all areas as we get further south into Cape May County. You're looking at anywhere between 11 and 35% decrease in the number of properties listed for sale. So if we kick off, if we just go to Wildwood proper in itself, we had actually an increase in sale price of 13% from 2019 into 2020, with an actual increase in the number of properties sold as well, jumped up to 13%, which was the number of properties sold in Wildwood Borough was 380. Ironically enough, this is the only one spot where the percentage of properties increased from 2019 into 2020. Only 2%, folks, but it was the only place we saw an increase. You jump into North Wildwood, increase in sale price of 15% from 2019 into 2020. We had actually the number of sold properties. Again, a little nugget here was a decrease of 7% less properties sold in North Wildwood in 2020 compared to 2019. and the number of properties listed was down 21% from the previous year, but sale price was up 15%. So those two areas actually was just the only uniqueness with regards to percentage of properties sold and or the number of properties sold. Go into Wildwood Crest, average sale price up 9% from the year before, with your average percentage of properties sold up 13% from the year before. 322 properties selling in Wildwood Crest in 2020, and the percentage of properties listed for sale was down 11%. One thing I want to make clear for everybody, when we're talking about total market, so we're talking about condos and townhouses, single-family homes, multifamily homes, land, commercial properties. So this is the whole complexity with regards to real estate that's being sold.
Good point.
Go into West Wildwood, number of properties for sale that sold in 2020 jumped up 16%, with their average sale price an increase of 14%. Which is fantastic for West Wildwood, and the percentage of properties listed for sale in West Wildwood was down 22%. So overall, a big decrease in the number of properties for sale in the Wildwood listed, and all of the areas had a significant increase in their values. If we move down into Diamond Beach, we had an average sale price jumped up 23% compared to 2020, with the average sale price up over around $607,000. The number of properties sold was an increase of 19%, and they had a decrease of 35% of the amount of properties listed for sale last year. Yeah, so a huge number of properties not coming on the market. Of course, we jump offshore, we move into North Cape May, big area that we cover offshore, had a 17% increase in the average sale price in 2020 compared to 2019, and that sale price was actually almost $335,000 was the average sale price in North Cape May in 2020. The total sale property was an increase of 14%, and again, another big number there, they had a 26% decrease in the number of properties listed for sale. So we jump into Cape May Courthouse, kind of halfway between the Wildwoods and Sea Isle and whatnot. You had a 13% decrease in the number of properties listed for sale. You had a 4% increase in the sale price of property, and you had a 17% increase in the number of properties sold. So like you said earlier, Chris, it really is, folks, simple supply and demand when it comes to the amount of properties not coming on the market, the amount of buyers that we have looking for property. They're just way out of sync right now, so it's really driving the prices right now in all shore communities that we're dealing with.
Absolutely. Yep.
Folks, so that kind of wraps it up for 2019 versus 2020. Again, average sale prices jumping way up, inventory levels way down. If you'd like more information maybe on your specific property, maybe you have a single family home, a condo, or a townhouse, and you're looking for a market analysis on that, please feel free to give us a call, 609-318-3439. You can also email Chris and I at sales@theferzocogroup.com, where we can supply you with a free market analysis on your specific properties. Or if you're interested in any other topics that we discuss here throughout the year, you can always visit us at www.theferzocogroup.com. Chris and I want to thank you all for listening to us again this year, and we hope to have a great 2021. Have a great day.